Well, it's March 14th, and I'm gathering all my evidence, lies, getting everything ready for when I go to Honduras. I just found out today that Ron had told Carlene that him and Mario had talked, and that Mario was supposed to feed me when I was on Utila, when he abandoned me for those 2 weeks without any money for food. That is an absolute lie. Mario said it himself, that was a lie, that was not true. But Ron told Carlene, and Carlene told Johnny, and Johnny told me. So as far as that wonderful, confidential friendship that Ron and Carlene might have, Carlene tells Johnny everything that Ron tells her. Why? Because Carlene, that is what, unfortunately, she does. That is how I know that I have a case of defamation of character with the two of them. And this is a continuous thing. She tells Johnny everything that Ron tells her. Now, Ron told her that Ron is tired. Ron told her that he is tired of looking after me, and that we have no investments together. Well, here's a shocker. Ron was tired of looking after me. All that I did for that man, for you, Ron, and you're tired of looking after me. I was going through something that unfortunately not very many people go through, and you were my rock. You were my rock. You kept me. You kept me. You helped me so much. You were the only one who understood. But in that time, during that, I still took care of you, and I still cooked, and I still cleaned for you. And you got tired of looking after me. Your verbal abuse, your put-downs, your hour lectures, what you said to me and you called me, and how you put me down and made me feel worthless with your words. And I still loved you, and I still begged you, and you were tired of looking after me. And as far as our investments go, Ron, here's a bunch of documents showing you and I as partners. You're more than welcome to look over all of them. You are a liar when it comes to things, and Carlene sucks it up and listens to your every word. And then she takes it and she tells Johnny. And then Johnny told me. So, with those documents, I'll be asking for half of the boat and half of the rhino. You either give me the rhino, maybe we'll do it that way. You give me the rhino, or you give me the boat. How's that for not having any documents? Because Carlene said, I'd better have good documentation that you and I had nothing invested together. 7 years is nothing invested. If it wasn't for me, you would have jack shit. You would have had nothing because of the person that you are. I made our house a home, and I took care of you. And for these people sitting here who'd like to know how you took care of me, let's give them an idea of our day. I'd get up in the morning. I'd make coffee. I'd serve you your cup of coffee, put your cream and sugar in it, and I'd serve you. When that coffee's done, I'd take your coffee cup and put your cream and sugar in it, pour your coffee, and I'd serve you again. And then I'd serve you your third cup of coffee. Then we would go to work, or when we were on Utila, I would cook. But I would have went to work, and then I would come home, or when I was in Canada. But on Utila, I would cook dinner or lunch. We'll start with lunch, whichever you wanted, whether it was hot dogs, whether it was leftovers, and then supper came. And I made chicken or beef or anything like that, and you had mashed potatoes or any kind of potatoes, and you had your vegetables, and you had your salad, and you had your bread, and then you had your homemade dessert. And you know what? I waited on you. I served you that food. I served you your meat first on your plate, took your plate, and then I served you your potatoes and vegetables, and I served that. And if you needed seconds, I served you that. And then if you had coffee, I served you that after dinner. And then came homemade dessert. And I would serve you your dessert. So please, when you tell the lies about looking after me or taking care of me, you remember what I did for you. And do you know what you did for me, Ron? Do you know what you did for me? You think that giving me money or paying the rent was what you had given to me? I never got a Christmas present. I never got a birthday present. I never got a Valentine's present. You gave me a card one year for Christmas. I never got nothing from you. Not a thing. And then that female tells me how you cook and how well you cook for her. And you've never cooked for me. Ever. And how good you took care of me, Ron. And she has the nerve to say how you pamper her. How you tell her tender, loving words and you pamper her. You, Ron, you pampered her in our 7 years. Never once could I put your name and the word pamper in the same sentence. Because I was the one who pampered you. I was the one who did everything for you. You didn't lift a finger. You didn't have to, because I did it all for you. Am I angry? Hell yeah. I deserve to be angry at you, and I deserve to be angry at Carlene. Do you know, Patty? They're not even in the picture anymore. I don't even care what they say about me. But it's Ron and Carlene. I told you that I'm coming with proof for all your lies. I told you that I didn't want to go for defamation of character. But I'll tell you right now, as soon as I talk to new people on Utila and I tell them who I am, and they're connected to Carlene in some way, they no longer want to speak to me because of her. So when I said that defamation of character was on the table and I didn't want to do it, with all this new stuff coming forward now, I'm thinking twice. And I believe I will go forward with charges. I told you to know more. And you don't stop. And you haven't stopped. Ron, no matter how fast the lie, the truth will always catch up. And I told you the truth will be told when I come back. Good documents. Go ahead and read them, Ron. Serenity Beach Resort, it's you and me. But the other stuff when we were here on Utila was you and me. Everything we bought was ours. We were considered married. So it is a 50-50 split. And the other thing I love is how Carlene told Johnny to go after you, Ron, for house sitting. Take Ron to court because he owes you that money for house sitting. He should have paid you. Good for you. It's funny how all of you backstab each other. You think you're something special. And you end up turning and backstabbing each other. I'll tell you something. You have no clue what friends are. None whatsoever. But you're sure going to find out who my friends are. I don't mean to be angry. I don't mean to come across. But I have a right to have emotions. And you're right, Carlene, telling Johnny how I should leave Ron alone. You're right. But perhaps if you would have stayed out of our business, kept things to yourself, and maybe if Ron didn't go to you for every little thing. I understand you have our scooter now. Was that a payoff? I apologize for that comment. That wasn't fair. But that scooter was half mine. So if your family has the scooter, I want 10,000 lempiras for that scooter. No, let's say 4,000 lempiras for the scooter. I'll take 4,000 lempiras for the scooter if your family has our scooter. 4,000 I think is fair. The other thing is, Ron, you did that house. You come out of there with about $40,000 for that house that you did. You were kind enough to buy me a $40 safe out of that. So, half that, realistically, is mine. Because we were together when you did that. When you left, we were together. I'm sure you can recall how we sat there and discussed the money I'm getting from the government and what we were going to do with it. So you whine and you complain to these people that you're tired of looking after me. And yet, we discussed our future together, to be together. You came up with some pretty good lies, Ron. I told you. I've lost everything. I lost you. I have no reason to lie. I have nothing left because you left me nothing. When you left Canada, you walked away. You walked away from me and left me nothing. Homeless for 4 months. Homeless, Ron, for 4 months in Canada. You left me. Not a penny. Oh, sorry. $250 at Christmas for me and Emma. That was it. So when Carlene thinks that you're such a great guy, and the rest of them think that you're such a great guy, and you gave me money when I went back to Canada from Honduras, you did. I needed money to pay for my suitcase. And I needed to be able to eat because you didn't give me money for food for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, Ron. You left. And you gave me nothing. I want Gino and I want Mario to think about that as men. To leave Sonia or Francis with nothing for 2 weeks. You tell me. You tell me. What kind of a man is that? What kind of a man does that? every one of your lies. Every one of your lies, I told you, I have everything for them. I have it all. I'm not afraid of you, Carlene. I was, only for the fact that I didn't know what you or your family could do to me. But what you've done to me anyways has been good enough. But I'm back, and I'm here to defend myself. And the more that I gather, and the more that I hear, and the more that people are telling me, the more common sense comes to mind as far as charging you, Ron, and Carlene. If I find one more person who will not speak to me because of your lies, I will come after you with charges against you. I won't stop it this time. I won't stop it this time. I may cry, and I have been broken down by you, Ron. And you know what you've done to me. You're not even man enough to face me or talk to me. But I've met some very, very, very important people, very influential people, people who look at me and go, wow, that's one smart lady, that's one strong lady who knows what she's doing. And because of that, I have investors to come here and to build homes. I have investors to come into my charter business. I'll have investors to come into my restaurant. So no more will you have beaten me down. I came to you, Tilla, because I wanted to have a business and to give people jobs and opportunities and to try to make people's lives better. And I tried that with your family, Carlene, excluding Gordon and Angelica and your other brother. But what's so funny is that when I've given you money or bought things from you, Ron was so angry at me. But when you ask Ron for $150 or $200, he's right there for you. He's given you the scooter, or however you've worked that out. But I know he's given money as well. And I don't think that if I was there and he was doing that, that I would be angry with him as he was with me. So why is it okay for you, Ron, to give your money away and it's not okay with me? And let me tell you, it was never $150 or $200 or something like that. It was never like that. Giving our money away, and look what you're doing now with your money, Ron. Your lies, you have to lie. You have to lie in order to have people believe you. You have to lie to make yourself a better person, because you know what you've done to me and you know the truth. And that is why you lie. Because if you told these guys the truth, they may not think you're all that, Ron. But either way, your lies, you and Carlene, you tell her, she tells Johnny, your lies. I told you. I have proof for every one of those lies that you guys have said about me. And I told you that I would prove it. And I will be speaking at the women's shelter above the fire hall, talking about abuse of women and my life story. And I will be giving my own personal testimony at church. And I will tell people the truth. But once all things are said and done, everybody's going to know who the liars are. Everybody's going to know what you've done to me and said about me. And to know a man such as yourself, who holds yourself at high esteem, would want me to kill myself right the next time. Oh, hell no. There's no killing myself. I'm coming back to live here. I'm coming back to live here. I'm coming back to be happy. And I'm coming back to be successful. What are you going to do in your life, Ron? What are you going to do now? Every single thing we plan to do. This isn't over yet. There'll be more to come.